We're at the 10th annual Cougar Classic out here at Yeamans Hall alongside Gretchen Zeller, former College of Charleston golfer and conference champion. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Thanks for tuning in for our Day 1 wrap-up show. And Gretchen, we got a chance to see a lot of good golf today. We'll talk about some of the individual performances and some of the coaches. But first things first, you actually played in the first annual one 10 years ago, and you said this tournament's changed a lot since the last time you played in it.
It has. I mean, it's just grown over the years. And I think one thing that's grown the most is the competitiveness. I mean, girls shooting in the 60s was, you know, you maybe had one or two 10 years ago, and now it seems like it's just normal to be there, and it's awesome to see how far women's golf has grown, not only here but all across the United States. There's so much competition. It's such a wonderful, wonderful place to have that competition at and have all these great teams around the country be here.
Well, this is such a beautiful course, and the girls obviously stay on grounds here, and they are fed very well. Obviously, they stay in deluxe accommodations here, and this really has the feel of like an LPGA tournament.
It really does. I mean, I think John Rivers, who's one of the starters of this tournament, actually said there's 85 players here, and every single one of them has a blow dryer. So they definitely take it first class all the way to the blow dryer, I guess. But you definitely don't leave here losing weight. You always gain weight here at Yeamans Hall. But the food is delicious, and they do a phenomenal job.
Before we take a look at some of the highlights, another thing to think about here is the competition. There are 24 teams. 10 of the top 15 teams in the country from last year are here. The returning national champion is here, so a great field. You got a chance to play this course yesterday. What do you think were some of the big challenges that the girls are going to face?
You know what? I think the greens have always been a challenge. This course is pretty wide open. It's a longer course. Obviously, your longer hitters off the tee are going to have a better advantage, absolutely. But it all comes down to who can putt. You know, drive for show, putt for dough, as they say, and it definitely holds true here at Yeamans Hall. You have a lot of false front greens here, a lot of hot tub greens, you know, where you have the big center cutout and some of the greens, and it's just going to be a phenomenal tournament. As we've seen, the first round scores are very competitive and just awesome golf being played.
Great field, and we saw some really good highlights today. And speaking of the putting and speaking of some of those par fives, let's take a look at some of today's highlights. Gretchen, we'll start with the College of Charleston. Vanessa Coakley, a senior, getting ready, making sure all the equipment's right.
I love it. You know, this is one of the best parts of the day. You get to meet your opponents and get started.
Here's a birdie attempt on 3 for her.
It just barely goes in.
Finished with a 76 today. So the College of Charleston did a pretty good job today as they really battled through a very young team this year. We'll stay with the College of Charleston and go to STACEY Tomlinson now with her tee shot on 6.
You know, Stacey's a freshman. I got to play with her 2 days ago. She is just an amazing person inside and out, and what a fabulous player for just picking up the sport about 3 years ago.
And she would go on to birdie that hole. Move on to Lindy Duncan now for Duke, a birdie putt here on 9.
Duke just played outstanding today. As you can see, they're right on the tail of Southern California. She
finished with a 369. Manuela Carbajo Ray out of Georgia, her approach on 12.
Just another beautiful, solid shot. These girls just have the best swings.
She would finish with par on that hole, 2 under for the day. Here's MARTA SANZ. What a big day for her out of Auburn. Birdie attempt early in the day, and she finished with a terrific round.
I think that was one of many birdie putts to come. I think she had 6 total on the day.
Yeah, she would finish 5 under 67 for the day, and she is the co-leader. And you're right, 6 birdies on the day from MARTA SANZ, a senior from Madrid, Spain, out of Auburn. The co-leader with ISABELLE LENDL out of Florida. She also had a good day.
Yes, Florida, another strong team, and Isabella obviously had a wonderful day herself with a 5 under round.
That was a birdie attempt on 13. She finished 5 under 67, again a co-leader. And Gretchen, let's take a look at the individual leaderboard first here for the first day of the Cougar Classic.
You know, we have a lot of different players from different teams, which is awesome, but obviously 5 under, 3 under, that is just amazing golf at this level.
Again, MARTA SANZ, we saw her at the top along with ISABELLE LENDL. They had great days. Gretchen, we go from the individual leaderboard to the team leaderboard, and you can see a lot of teams with some really good days, including Southern California there at the top.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, obviously the time change did not affect USC's play today. 3 under collective, unbelievable play. Duke, Virginia, Florida, all at the top. Georgia and Auburn just hanging on right there at 5 and 6. It's going to be an interesting Monday and Tuesday, absolutely.
And again, the College of Charleston finished tied for 18th at plus 12 on the day. You know, of note also is LSU, defending champion of this tournament. They finished tied for 21st, but they've lost a lot of players this year.
Yes, they have. They're a very young team, but Kieran is a phenomenal coach. Also tied at 7th is NCAA champs from last year, Alabama. Mick Porter is a phenomenal coach as well. You know what? You never know where these teams are going to come in 2 days. 36 holes is a long way away.
Yeah, still a lot of golf left to be played on Monday and Tuesday out here at Yeamans Hall. Well, again, the individual leaders overall, MARTA SANZ and ISABELLE LENDL. SANZ from Auburn and LENDL from Florida got a chance to catch up with both of them after their rounds today.
Yeah, it was pretty good because it didn't rain. The weather held pretty good. And I started a little bad. I bogeyed number 1. But I thought I had a lot of holes left, and I knocked a lot of shots close to the hole, and just made some birdies out there.
I think I did a little bit of everything well. I hit it pretty decent and putt well, and gave myself a lot of looks. I hit, I think, 14 or 15 greens, or maybe 16 greens today, so gave a lot of chances for birdie. But I think I was 4 under on par 5, so that helps.
Well, again, we just heard from MARTA SANZ and ISABELLE LENDL from Auburn and Florida, respectively, the overall individual leaders. As far as the teams go, Southern Cal in first place, and right behind them, Duke, Virginia, and Florida all tied for second. We got a chance to catch up with the head coach for Virginia, Kim LEWELLEN.
The girls played wonderful today. They've been playing well throughout the summer through qualifying rounds, and I think excited for the first tournament, excited to come here to Yeamans Hall. We haven't played this tournament in a while, and it's one of their favorites, and I just think the excitement of the first day, first round, first tournament, and they played well.
And speaking of the team leaderboard, obviously the College of Charleston, not a bad day today. They finished tied for 18th. They were 12 over. Stacey Tomlinson with a good day for the college. Got a chance to catch up with Stacey, and also the head coach for the Cougars, Jamie FUTRELL. Congratulations on your round today. Tell us how you played.
I played good at 16 greens. 3-putted 2 of the first 3, so I had a good finish.
So how were you able to battle around that with the first couple of holes?
Well, I made about a 90-footer on number 6. That kind of got me going. It felt good.
Stacey Tomlinson shot 73. Got battled a couple nerves early. Was 2 over through 3, but came back, 1 under the rest of the day. Kathy Boone was 74. So we really were solid, which is nice. I mean, everybody stayed in the round the entire time, so it was a good day. We just need to take a few more shots off of it, and we'll be good.
Well, Gretchen, we just got a chance to hear from the low players from today, and also some of the coaches. Another great round here in day 1, but obviously a lot of golf left to be played. Still 2 days left. What do you think are going to be the keys to victory here for the next 2 days? Looks like the weather should be pretty nice. That shouldn't be a factor.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's just going to take, mentalness. This course can be so nice to you, but be so not nice to you at the same time. But mental toughness, staying true, have 4 good rounds, solid rounds. I mean, you definitely got to shoot around par or under par to make it anywhere close to the top in this competition. And it's just going to be an amazing event. Coaching's probably going to come in and be a big part as well, which all these coaches have a lot of experience, and they're top coaches in the country, so it's fun to watch that aspect of it as well.
That was interesting talking to you earlier today, because you said the coaches can actually follow the players, go on the greens with them. That's something different than what you had.
I know, man. I wish I had my own caddy when I was in college. I maybe would have played a little bit better. But yes, absolutely. There, 2 years ago, I believe, Kieran, the LSU coach, was telling me that they are now allowed to go on the greens, read their putts, as well as walk down the fairway with them and give them pointers. And now they even have the little shooting guns for yardage. I'm like, it's like retired golf. They don't have to work for anything anymore. But it's fun and it's awesome. These girls are wonderful golfers and still have an unbelievable talent to show.
So to wrap things up, we've got a segment for you here for the next 3 days called Out of Bounds with Gretchen Zeller. And a great chance, kind of a lighter side of how things will be going the next few days, but give us a little preview of what's to come here.
Oh, yes. We have everything from singing, which was not very impressive, I must say, to understanding where they came from, maybe, and just basically getting everybody on their toes in front of the camera. It's amazing what some people will say.
And perhaps a few uncomfortable moments as well. So as we wrap things up here for day 1, here's what we call Out of Bounds with Gretchen Zeller.
¿Cómo te llama?
Marta.
Martha. Marta.
Marta.
And how do you spell that?
M-I-M-A-R-T-A.
Oh my gosh, you are a huge deal then in the South. Do you know in Atlanta, Georgia, they named an entire transportation force after you?
Yeah, I do.
Was that named after you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I mean, I guess that's been around for a while. So how old are you?
85.
Now you are the Hokies at Virginia, correct?
No, 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 please, no, do not say that. No, we are the Cavaliers. We'll cut you.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
So give us a Cherokee holler. Yeah. Well, there is the history of Yeamans Hall.
Well, that's not the total history.
Well, that's how it started.
Well, that's how, the Yeamans Hall Golf Club, if you want to know about that, that's a different story. This started in 1925.
I don't know if we have time.
Well, I can give you.